Hey folks, how you guys doing? It's Bishopheals from the ECF forums and Vape TV. I gotta say, I apologize ahead of time. My voice is, as you can tell, it's a little bit cracked from VAPEBASH. It's just, I've been trying to heal a little bit. It has been a great time at VAPEBASH, that's for sure. But I I just want to say that for the people that's been emailing me, sending me messages in YouTube, um, I'm gonna make a more thorough video a little bit later on this week if my voice improves a little. It's kind of hard to talk, but reading the messages is, Bish, can you please show me how you build your Ithaka? Um, how do you set up the dual coils? I'm having some issues, either with too much juice going in, um, and so being that there's a lot of the same questions, I being that being that it's a lot of the same questions, I said let me make a short video on how to build, on the way I'm building it. Okay, there are a few other ways that I've been building it, that I've been doing it for a lot of people in VAPEBASH. Very different because I didn't have time to play with mine. So I kind of used everyone as a guinea pig, setting it up in different styles of wicks, wraps, resistance-wise, and so forth. And so far, I'm digging this particular style, which I'm going to go and show you right now. And then I'll make other videos later on in the week as soon as my voice improves, of other ways of building, because this thing is like Legos. I mean, it's just phenomenal. So many things you can do with this device. But let me show you at first. Let me show you. Okay, so I have it already cleaned and assembled. Okay, now it comes automatically with the two bases. Okay, and you got the GGTS base, which you mount everything on. Okay, so it's already on. This will also screw right on top of it, so that you can put onto any 510 device if you don't have a GGTS. And it also comes incorporated with an air control. Oops. Air control. Yeah, don't run away from me. Forget about it. Okay, so here we go. We have the ceramic assembly, as you can see here, which Emil has changed a lot of things from this, from the original videos that he posted. He replaced it from the stainless steel nut to a heat-resistant, I would say like a Delrin cap, which does the same job. It screws the negative wire up here, okay? So you would do a 360 loop here, and screw this plastic all the way up, and that's it. That's your negative connection. Then for your positive connection, which you're using the ceramic side, okay, you would use this O-ring. That's it. So it goes right here in between. Okay, and then I would just put a little bit of either the juice that you're using just to lubricate this O-ring if you don't want to use Vaseline, and just push it up. That's all. So, and this is an adjustable 510, which is in brass. So if you're going to use this base, okay, you can unfasten this a little bit, okay? So it's adjustable, so depending on the size of the 510 of the PV that you're using it on, okay? For this, I'm going to leave it closed. And what I have here is 3 pieces of wick. I'm using 1.5 wick, okay? You can use 3.5, okay, or 3M wick, as well as 2M wick. But for this one is 1.5 that I'm using. So this is what I'm going to do. Now, to help some people what I advise is when you make your coil, okay, wherever the junction point is, where it lands, like when you start it off, make sure you do another loop. So that way it keeps some of the pressure off of that junction point as you're mounting it on so it doesn't snap off. Some people, Mary, Nancy, Liz, they were asking me, they were trying to mount it, but sometimes the negative connection is coming off. So that would help, okay? Now I'm going to mount it. And the way I'm going to mount it is, instead of putting it across, I kind of feel it maximizes more taste and more vape and vapor production by putting in like an X. So this would be the first coil mount. Okay, so let me zoom that in. There we go. This camera, I tell you, forget about it. It doesn't autofocus when you want it to. There we go. So you want it across like that, okay? Okay, so you want it across. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Okay, so you want it across, okay? When you put it across, just pull down on the two sides of the wick, just down, and make sure it's right there, falling center. Okay, there you go. Now, with the other wick, what I do is this helps for more moisture, more vapor. And I put it as an X. See that? I'm looping it just like an X right on top. This helps. It keeps it very wet and moist. So if you really want to maximize on flavor, you want to do that. It's for my personal taste so far. Okay. Yeah, now the next thing you put is here. Here's the other 1.5 wick with the coils, and you put it on top, across, okay, like an X, top of the other set of coils. Like that. Okay, just like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to work the negative side first. Now, another thing to keep in mind is the channels, okay? As you can see here, I'm just going to push the wick a little up. The negative wires can probably lopside on the other channel. My recommendation is keep them on the same channel, okay? Keep them on the same. It doesn't matter, but my personal preference, being that I'm just doing my Dual Highlanders, I'm going to keep them on the same channel for now, okay? I will unscrew, unfasten this piece, okay? I will wrap it around, like so. And when I wrap it around, I bring up the other sets of wires back up to the channel, just to tighten this. Okay, once it's tightened, and what I would, this is me because of my OCD issue, so I just do a 1/4 turn right on there, that's it. And the rest of the wire, what I do is, I just take my nail clipper, cut it, done. Okay, that's done. Keeping my finger on the head, I turn it around, and I do the same thing. The two wires on the positive side on one channel, I bring it down gently and slowly, and what I do is I wrap it around the actual ring, okay, of the O-ring. Now, I'm going to use COVY4, okay? And what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to put like a drop, that's about it, and another drop here, that's about it, okay? And I just want to lubricate this O-ring. Now, you can use Vaseline if you wish, but anyone that has owned a GG device, an Odie or a Penny knows you want to avoid any friction. But the way email design it shouldn't be a problem. But old habits die hard. So I'd rather be safe than sorry, just in case, because there is a lot of torque on this part right here. There's threads on here, so just in case that causes any friction, that the wire may snap there, just in case. That's why I'm doing that. Now we can go by lining up the actual wick. Okay, so you can bring down the two pieces of wick on each side. You don't have to cut them, okay, because this is 1.5 wick, okay, which 1.5 plus 1.5 equals to 3M. So that's what I'm saying. You can also use 3M or 3.5, and you don't have to cut any wicks. But I kind of like how this works out with the 1.5s. It gives me more of an air draw, okay, more of a pull using the 1.5s on here. It's very remarkable. It kind of resembles the way how the hi-hat hits you. That's for sure. Forget about it. So what I'm going to do now is, I wish I could get a new throat, that's for sure. I just want to make sure that the coils are lined up, which they are. Okay, as you can see. Okay, let me zoom in and view. There you go. See? So it's good. Now we can add this part. Okay. Being that this is already falling flush here, so instead of screwing it down here this way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw it down the other way. This way. Okay, threads down, and I'm going to put it in this way. Now, if I was using 3.5 wick, I will do it the other way, just to iron out any loose ends for the wick. But this way works out for me, being that I'm using 1.5s. Okay, now what I do is I measure. This is the mouthpiece. Put it up against it, and I see how much more clearance room I have. So that means I can still lift this a little bit higher. Okay. See, a little bit higher. Almost. So I just unscrew this part a little bit more. Alright, that's getting there. So now what I do is, remember, this has an automatic feeder. Okay. Now, if you're going to use this automatic feeder, and you want to use it, okay, for the 1.5 wick, I don't recommend it. Okay, I really don't recommend it unless you have a very, very light draw of power. Okay, I'm a big guy. I'm fluffy. Okay, everybody that saw me at VAPEBASH knows I'm extremely fluffy. So I have some powerful vocal cords and a powerful draw. So if I draw in really hard, what's going to happen is a lot of juice is going to gush in there automatically to the wick. Now, these are 1.5 wicks. They're little babies, okay? They're very babies for me. So I don't need to be gushing all that juice in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it against it, like so, okay? Like that. Now, if I'm using 3.5 or 3M wick, believe me when I tell you, babies, I will be putting it here. Because I did at VAPEBASH, that's for sure, and needed it. And I tried it without using the automatic feeder on a 3.5 3M wick. Oh, my own enemy, forget about it. You really want it, that's for sure, to keep the juice flowing. Even though you got the mouthpiece for the juice control, this helps. Poof, forget about it. But on a 1.5, being that I draw heavy, it's just so much juice that goes in. So I don't want too much juice. I don't want it extremely gurgling, okay? So that's not my thing. So I'm going to put it around over here. Get the base, okay? This is the GGTS base first. It's the one you mount on. And you screw this part only first, okay? You keep screwing it, and this has an O-ring already. So it'll keep it from leaking. It won't leak, okay? As long as it's tightly snugged. Okay, it's tightly snugged. And that's it. This can't go anymore. It's locked in. Same with this, okay? Now, if you want to use the 510, you just screw on the 510. That's it. And then, as I said, this is adjustable, so you can unscrew that as high as you want it. Okay? Okay, as high as you want it, like so. And you can use your own finger. Okay? So, I'm just going to take it off in the meantime. Okay, so this is mounted on. Okay? Let me check something. Okay, so I'm putting it on the 510 base. Okay. And let's check out the ohms. I believe these coils were 1.4 or so that I did. Wow, I can't even, there we go. I'm having one of those. Okay, here we go. So as you can see, it lights up. Now what I'm going to do is, let's try it this way. If I screw in the 510 portion first and do this, unfasten the 510 a little. There we go. That worked. So I'm at 0.7 ohms on this build, okay? So the way I got it was I put the base on first and then I extended this out and then I was able to get the reading that way. So, okay, I'm at 0.7 ohms. So I'm going to put it on my GGTS. As you can see, just one battery. This is the new Panasonics, Orbitronics, the high drain batteries. 10 amps is what I'm using on here. I'm not even making 8 amps out of this build. This is a pretty simple forward build. Okay, so as you can see, it lights up. Okay, so now what I'm going to use is COV4, and as you can see, it soaks the wick soaks it up really quick. Okay. Okay. Now, being that I had that extra wick, the reason why I do that, folks, is because it keeps it extremely moist. Okay? I mean, you won't see even the coils turning red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Here we go. Now you saw it a little red at 16 seconds. I don't know anyone that will vape past 8 seconds to 10 seconds. That's why I like to keep it extremely moist, extremely, good, let me tell you. Now, if you do want more heat, then you can remove that middle wick and just use it straight, the 2 coils. If you want more heat, that means you can breathe in like 3 seconds worth of famous hot sauna heat blast. But I like to chain vape. Being that I like to chain vape, you know, that's why, you know, I put the extra wick in there. Okay, and look, there we go. Okay, so I would add a couple more drops. There we go, nice and wet and soaky. Now we put the mouthpiece on. Now, let's have a vape. There we go. Okay, so here we go. 0.7 ohms. Okay, my Dual Highlanders. Here we go. Really good. I'm gonna add a couple more drops. Okay. Really good. I'm gonna finish off the build. Put the tank piece on. Now, I've also played with different wires. Everyone knows I really don't use stainless, silver, pure silver for the non-resistance. But on this build, I did use silver. I wanted to see how much of a heat resistance if it would snap. That's why it came out to 0.7 ohms, and then I would experiment it with a little lower than that. Here we go, cap is on. Now, when you put this cap, you can still add more juice on the side here, and that would be like another milliliter of juice, easy. There we go, I put the other top cap on. Open up a little juice control action. Open up air control. Now, for Lou, asked me how easy it is to mount it on another PV. Well, quite simple actually. My advice, there's a small little learning curve. Being that I got the automatic juice feeder on the side, not on the channels, I will leave this somewhat a little bit closed, but a very tiny open. Because if you have a strong draw like me, you'll gush those juices in there pretty quick. If you have a very, very sensitive, light draw, then you would probably want to open this a little bit more than just, a little bit, okay? So there is a small little learning curve. Everyone's different, okay? It's delicious. Now, being that someone asked me, how difficult is it to mount it on another PV? Well, I have here the Helix, okay, 26650, okay, put this baby in there, and what I'm actually going to show you is spring is tight, that's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to take it out of here. When you take it out, loosen up the, just do a half a turn to loosen that up. You don't want to take that out when it's tight. Now, what you want to do is unfasten this a little, okay, just a little bit. And what did I do with the I just had it. Oh, duh, it's here. Okay. Forget about it. Oh, man. Okay, so fasten this on. Okay, so I'm going to put it in. No need to remove the base. Just screw it right on, like so. Okay. Air control ring up, open, completely open air drawer. If you bring it down, you're tightening the air drawer. So first I like to just bring it all the way up. Make sure some of that 510 is sticking out. And let me just make sure that, there we go. I just want to make sure it was clean. Okay. So I put this on. The 510 ring. There we go. A little bit more. Helix is a little bit, longer. There we go. Oh yeah. Hear that? It's cooking. Forget about it. You can put this on any PV. Let me rephrase that. Any mechanical PV at these kind of ohms. It's 0.7. Okay? Ooh, she's kicking now. She's kicking now. It's a new wick, so it gotta get broken in. Now, from here, what I'll do is I'll leave the bass on. See? I'll leave the bass on. And I'll put it back in here. Delicious. Delicious. Okay, so there's a lot more things I like to go over, but because of my voice, it's already hurting as it is. So I just really just wanted to give you just a minor preview of how the Ithaka performs on the GGTS, as well as, another PV mod with it. And, oh, before I go, as you already know, the air control in the GGTS, how well it works, as far as tightening it, if you have one. People that already had the OD knows about this as well as IATI. You adjust the tightness and the loose of the draw. I have it on almost tight. If I go all the way down, obviously, it's hard. It's hard to take a vape. Now, if I put this back, let me just loosen up the 510, put it back on here. Okay, and I tighten the air control all the way down. There's nothing going in, baby. Forget about it. So you can rest assured, if you don't own a GGTS device, you will get all the bells and whistles. You will get all the bells and whistles with this atomizer. With all the bells and whistles, as long as you have a mechanical or a variable voltage PV mod. If it's variable voltage, it's very difficult to make these dual coils at low resistance. You would have to make them in higher resistance dual coils on there. Okay? Then it'll work. Okay. And I can adjust it all the way up for full air. Okay. It's a delicious, delicious atomizer. But, you know, please forgive me. I would love to go into more details with it, but at a later date I will. I'm still experimenting other kind of wick rolls and wraps onto this device. But as soon as my voice gets a little bit better, you'll get more of a formal video. Definitely, as you can see, I didn't add no music to this one because somehow my voice was so low that I have to modify it to raise it up even higher. Before I go, I gotta tell you some news. Exciting news. I spoke with Emil. I've asked him to come back to my show as a guest. He's coming. We're gonna give you a nice rundown on the Ithaka and his production status, okay, what's coming out next. I will keep you guys posted as far as when he's coming. I spoke to him. I told him I just need my voice to heal a little bit because, as you can tell, being I can't say it right now due to my voice, you will understand. But that works too, okay? So, subscribe. I'll keep you posted. That way you know when Emil's going to come on Vape TV live. I'll keep you guys. I'll give you guys some fair warning ahead of time. I can't really stay long. My voice is just hurting. But live hard and vape hard, baby. Okay? Love you. Take care. Peace.